Why are some people so rude to people who don't talk much? As a quiet person who has gotten closer to some more gregarious people over the years, one thing I've noticed about a lot of them, not all, but a lot,
is a high degree of anxiety. Some of that talking is a way to fill the silence because silence is uncomfortable for them. If you're not talking or generally giving them much feedback,
that can make you hard to read and thus make them anxious.
The prodding isn't them trying to be rude.
It's them trying to provoke some kind of reaction so they can get some feedback as to what your internal state is like, because not knowing that is stoking their anxiety. When someone says to me in a mocking way, "You don't talk much, do you?" I usually reply something like, "I talk when I want to talk," or "I talk a lot when with people I
like," which is maybe a way of being rude right back to them since it's implying I don't want to talk to them and I don't like them.
Which, if they mock me for being quiet, is true. Can't tell you why, but a lot of people just suck. I once went to a quiet empty restaurant alone and sat down at a table.
The server brought me my drink and said, "Oh, you're so quiet. Who the fuck am I supposed to be talking to?" People suck.
I'm this way. I'm so irritated at the way I'm treated. I'm kind polite but don't always like to talk.
I like the occasional silence. At my old job, my boss told me that me being quiet was suspicious to her. Fuck her and that job.
I was treated like shit for not being super extroverted and for just doing my job.
I always tell myself they're either too dumb to entertain themselves with their own thoughts,
because they have none,
or they feel they're better than everyone else. So if someone doesn't act the way they think people should act, they see it as a problem and, generously, offer to fix the problem.
I think that the reasoning is, because they don't talk much they won't defend themselves. So they target them because they appear to be the easier victims, of course.
The people doing this are assholes.
Edit. I don't know how to write. My husband and his whole side of the family, I learned years ago, they love to debate,
question everything,
hear themselves talk, give long-winded answers to simple questions. I used to participate until I realized they really don't want to hear my opinion.
I still hang out and love them dearly, but after about an hour of them talking and analyzing everything,
I have to excuse myself. I find them extremely draining.
I'm convinced about half the world is made up of assholes constantly looking for someone or thing
to attack. Empty vessels make the most noise. I'm the type of person to find a quiet corner at a party. My extroverted friends that care about me will sometimes blurt out, "Stop being an antisocial weirdo," or "Why are you so quiet," as their way of breaking the ice. They truly just want to spend quality time with me and have fun. But they don't put much thought into how their statement affects me. They are bluntly expressing their disbelief of my preferences. Disbelief. Similar to how I can't relate to them constantly battling to be the center of attention. They can't relate to me having a nice peaceful bubble of calm energy. I think there's an assumption that quiet people equals uninterested, boring, maybe aloof. Humans are generally social creatures. When someone doesn't fit that narrative, some people find it awkward. I'm not saying it's right or true. There's definitely a difference between someone who's quieter, which isn't an issue, and someone who makes no effort to communicate. If you're actively choosing not to talk to people, or just give one-word answers, etc., you can't expect them to like or want to talk to you. Conversations are a two-way street. If someone's being rude, just ask them why they talk so much. They won't like it when it's thrown back at them. As a person who tends to be on the more reserved side, And as much as I hate it when I get flack from someone for being quiet, I don't think many of them have any ill intent.
There are probably a few reasons.
1. They're just trying to get a rise out of you.
To those of us who are more reserved, the banter of talkative people can feel like an affront against us by default.
Although I'm sure it's not meant that way.
2.
When you meet someone for the first time and don't talk much around them, literally all they know about you is that you're quiet. So that's all they have to go on when trying to start a conversation with you.
3.
Psychologically speaking, it's advantageous to be very wary and skeptical of the unknown.
People with normal social behaviors,
for lack of a better word, are constantly putting their thoughts and feelings on display, which allows others to vet them and recognize that there's nothing to fear.
When you play your cards closer to the vest, your intentions aren't clear to other people and their survival instincts tell them to assume your intention is negative. This probably served people very well in prehistoric days, whereas today it's more of a nuisance for us as quiet people.
The general sense of unease caused by being around a quiet person is probably the reason why so many people try to fix us by throwing us into social situations.
If someone can change you and make you less quiet, they'll be able to read you more easily and you become less of a natural threat.
I'm a total homebody and a som, so I usually don't go outside a lot. I have a neighbor who once told me that I need to come outside in the neighborhood more to talk in. That she was going to show up at my house,
uninvited,
to make me talk to her. She said something similar about me to my husband on another occasion. It's obvious she has a problem with me keeping to myself.
Even though I'm nice and will talk to her a bit when I see her, I don't like that she feels like she has a right to force herself on me and make me be how she thinks I should be. I think it's because most people are not comfortable with silence.
So being quiet makes them feel uncomfortable. And when people are uncomfortable, they tend to get upset or angry at whatever causes them to feel
that way. Because they feel very uncomfortable around such people, i.e. people who are not like them.
It's perfectly natural.
Really. And is the cause of most social issues on the planet, I think. It's also much easier to attack things you don't understand instead of trying to understand them. This is exactly why I hate family gatherings. Because people see introversion as a disease that can and needs to be cured, when in reality it's just how some, literally 40%,
people's mind work. If you want a non-salty,
realistic answer,
they just don't know any better. They don't understand that what they're saying is rude. What you can do is respond with, "I find that quite rude," or something similar.
If they respond negatively, just disengage from them.
I've recently experienced this.
I've recently gotten into college and made some new friends. They're not bad people, but I hate it when they ask me to talk or tell me that I should speak more. It just sounds so rude and it pisses me off.
Like, I don't want to speak, just leave me alone. I'm quiet most of the times because my hobbies and interests are very different from others. As the op said, I only speak to greet, some small talks and to answer questions.
The one thing I hate most is when people are just constantly spitting words out of their mouth. And I don't want to be like that.
Also, there's one more thing that op did not mention. People also assume a lot of things about us.
Things that most of the times are not true. A lot of people think that I have attitude, which is not true at all.
I just don't have the energy to speak.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.